Yes, people, welcome back to another video, Thai Sports. I'm not feeling too great, but I've got to do another video because I've just watched that Madrid derby. And man, that was a proper derby from the start to the ending. Crowd involved, players involved, coaches involved, both fighting for the La Liga title. And all I can say is this race is hotting up. This race is hotting up. Barcelona win tomorrow, and there's about 4 points between all three teams with 15 games to go. This is a proper La Liga title race. Guys, make sure you smash a like. Make sure you subscribe as well, because there are a few things we've got to talk about from that Madrid derby. Big up guys that watched the game. Hopefully, obviously, you can relate. But that was a very fascinating, enthralling game. Yes, it ended 1-1. If people have just locked in and not seen the score, 1-1. Goals from Kylian Mbappe and Julian Alvarez for Atletico Madrid. But there could have been more goals. Madrid could have won it, because for me, this game was a tale of two halves. Honestly, like, that was a proper derby summed up, where one team dominate or are better in the first half, and then in the second half, it's the other way around, and you feel like the second goal is coming for Real Madrid, but it just didn't come, because as we know with Atletico Madrid, they always defend resolutely. Diego Simeone is no mug. There is a reason that Diego Simeone is the second highest winning manager against Carlo Ancelotti in world football. Only one manager has beaten Ancelotti more when they've played off against each other. And again tonight, Atletico Madrid dug deep when they needed to in that second half, when you're under pressure at the Bernabeu. How many years upon years, Champions League, La Liga, have we seen Real Madrid go on and get a second goal? Especially when you've got attackers like Rodrigo, Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius, Bellingham, who can pop up with a goal, especially when he arrives late in the box. But they couldn't do it. Oblak, Jimenez, Galan, Clement, they all defended. They all defended strong tonight. And it was a brilliant game of football. It was a brilliant game of football. I think it had everything you wanted except for a red card. It had everything that, you'd want in a Madrid derby, especially when both teams are going for it. But first of all, I've got to really applaud, Atletico Madrid, especially for their first half performance, because I thought they were good in the first half. I thought they were good. I thought the way they set up, the way they organized themselves, I thought, do you know what? They've really done well. And if you can see it here, guys, the way Atletico set up in a 4-4-2, but really it was a 4-4-1-1. They had Galan, Lenglet, Jimenez, and Llorente, Simeone, who's obviously playing well under his dad, who's the manager, DePaul, Barrios, Lino, Alvarez, and Griezmann. But they defended deep. What they done is frustrated Real Madrid. They said, look, we're going to sit in a low block and you're going to have to break us down. They didn't allow space for players like Vinicius and Mbappe to get in behind and stretch it. Because when you play a high line against Real Madrid, you're basically saying how many goals are you going to score. Diego Simeone played it perfection. He sat back, allowed Madrid to have 60% of the ball, 65% of the ball, and said, come and break us down. Because those players in Real Madrid are more transitional players. And they really struggle to deal with Atletico Madrid's low block. But what impressed me the most was the way Atletico Madrid, for me, with that side of Lino and Galan there, they were brilliant. Samuel, Lino, and Galan in that first half were brilliant. The way they were countering the Real Madrid loss of possession effectively. Every time Madrid had the ball and then there was turnovers in the box or the keeper would have it, it was straight out to the left-hand side. They really exploited that pace there from, Rodrigo and Lucas Vasquez. And the amount of times Atletico Madrid were able to get in on Real Madrid in transition, I thought was very good tactically from Simeone. Yes, they lacked that maybe killing edge, the cutting edge in the final third, a few misplaced passes, maybe overhit passes, not the right decision making in the last minute in the box. However, the build-up play in the transition from Atletico Madrid in that first half was spot on. The amount of times they were running through in midfield or they were down either flank. And if you're Manchester City looking at that ahead of the first leg against Real Madrid, or say the second leg when they play them at the Bernabeu, then you're going to be thinking, right, Savinho, we need to exploit that pace. Jeremy Doku, players like that. Because Real Madrid at the moment are looking very, very fragile at the back. And as you can see, guys, I'm going to touch on it right now here. You look at Real Madrid with their back four tonight, and look, Tchouaméni, Lucas Vazquez, Asensio, Fran Garcia. It's not great. It's not screaming to you leadership. It's not screaming to you winners. It's not screaming to you confidence. And Atletico Madrid in the first half done very well in terms of exploiting that. But the big talking point is, guys, as you know, the penalty decision. Was it a penalty? Was it not a penalty? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, because I'm so intrigued to see what you guys think. As you can see here, the penalty decision was awarded at the end of the first half, excuse me. At the end of the first half, Tchouaméni on Lino. The ball comes across, Lino miscontrols it. Tchouaméni leaves his hanging foot, and he kind of like, he takes Lino out, but his foot's there before Lino gets there, and he kind of runs into Tchouaméni. It's a very hot 50-50 for me in terms of, I can technically see why it's given, especially when it's a free frame. But when I watched it in real time, I didn't think it was a penalty. I truly didn't think it was a penalty. I thought Tchouaméni had already put his foot out there, and Lino kind of ran into Tchouaméni, and it just, they touched. But I don't think, Lino did not have control of the ball. It was nothing like that. It wasn't a goal scoring opportunity. The ball had gone. You can see it going behind Lino towards the right winger. I thought it was quite harsh. And to be fair, I think that I'm pretty fair when it comes to VAR. If it's against my own team or even my team, if it's given, it's given. If it's not, it's not. I didn't think that was a penalty. However, the penalty was given, and Julian Alvarez, Panenka penalty straight down the middle, 1-0 Atletico Madrid. But I think this is where the second half was really impressive from Real Madrid. Ancelotti must got into them and said, look, we're at home. The La Liga title's on the line. We need to go out there and get a goal back, and a goal they did. Kylian Mbappe at the moment on fire for Real Madrid after a tough start earlier on in the season. A good finish. And what I liked about it as well is that it's a striker's goal. Not every goal has to be flashy. Not every goal has to be amazing from outside the box. For me, it was the anticipation from Kylian Mbappe to react to the loose ball in the box and fire it into the bottom corner. And also, the way he finished it reminded me of Mesut Ozil, hitting it into the ground and driving it into the corner. Keeper had no chance. But from then, it just felt like it was relentless Madrid pressure, hitting the bar, Jude Bellingham header, flashes across the box, shots that Oblak saved. It felt like the goal was coming for Real Madrid. And, Atletico, they had their little moments, their little counter-attacking spells, 2 or 3 of them, where it didn't quite go right, or they didn't make the final right decision. But for me, it was Atletico very good in the first half, defending solid, hitting them in transition. But in the second half, I thought Madrid were good. I have to give it to Real Madrid. I thought the way they come back into it in the second half, obviously the changes of Camavinga, Luka Modric, made a slight difference to the game. I think gave him a bit more control, because I think with Dani Ceballos and Valverde in midfield, they just lost a bit of that control. I just felt they lost a little bit of that control in the first half. And I think when you've got Camavinga and Modric on the pitch, there's just a bit more possession, a bit more calmness about them. And it enabled Real Madrid to sustain pressure, to pin Atletico Madrid back. And they didn't really have a lot of responses, to be fair. They tried bringing on Koke and Sorloth, but they're not really going to change the game. They're more slowing it down. Sorloth can hold it up. Koke for the experience. I think Atletico Madrid will take the point, because it leaves the La Liga race hot. It is wide open right now for Barcelona to beat Sevilla and close the gap tomorrow. But this is going to be a great La Liga race, because Real Madrid... Sorry, guys, I plugged out my mic. Can Real Madrid keep clean sheets at the back to win games? Because we know they'll score goals. We know that Atletico Madrid can defend well, so they can win 1-0, 2-0, and provide that consistency every week. And Barcelona, well, they're technically the best team to watch, and you think they have the best style of play, of course, but then they lack that consistency. So who is going to win this La Liga title race? Tonight summed up how hot and how close it is. Atletico great in the first half, away from home in a hostile atmosphere at the Bernabeu. Then Real Madrid showing fight, wanting to go get that second goal. And on another day, they get a second goal. They probably get a third goal. But it's the small margins between Vinicius, Mbappe, and Bellingham, where sometimes they can be selfish. Sometimes maybe be unselfish. Look for the teammate. Don't try and be the hero. And them little tweaks there might be the difference between winning the Liga this season and maybe not winning it. Tonight, it felt like an individual team scored and got a goal. Atletico fought as a team. 1-0 was the result at the Santiago Bernabeu. The Madrid Derby ends as a draw. It's all to play for, but I thought it was a great game of football. You know, both teams tried, both teams tactically were very good in either half, but it was the goals that matter. And the La Liga race hots up. Guys, make sure you like this video, make sure you subscribe, and please make sure you get your comments in. Big up.